Good morning. It's Monday morning. It's just before 8. It's a sort of second full week of the UK's lockdown, and it just occurs to me that this is going to be quite a tough week for everyone, but I think probably especially families. If you have ever holidayed in the UK, you've always had that week in a caravan, or even worse, a tent, when it's incessantly raining and you can't really go outside. And that's what it's felt like last week. It's felt like, well, we can just get through this week and then we can go home. But the difficulty is, obviously, it's not too dramatic to say we haven't got a home to go to, but we can't go back to normal. Um, and I think that does take a toll on people. And I think just because, you know, someone's not ill or not, other people are worse off, it doesn't mean that it's not difficult. It's difficult for everybody, I think, this current situation. So I want to talk about the importance of play in that context. Just very briefly, just to talk about what I mean. People define play in lots of different ways, and it's often sort of half jokingly talked about as a very simple task made unnecessarily difficult, with sort of rules and restrictions. And that may, be something very complicated like the enormously long board game we played yesterday, or it could be, you have to jump over this. Jump between here and here, and here's a pole you have to jump over. So that's what I mean, really. Is this kind of process of putting restrictions on an action, and introducing competition and challenge. But you can think of it as I like to think of it, and I'll link to an article I wrote last year, as an exploration of a kind of potential space. Neither of those is really the most relevant definition or way of thinking of it. I think the most useful one this week is going to be as a state of mind, a playful state of mind, in which, and I think it's related to exploration, in which you approach your experiences and your interactions in a way where you are playing with them, you are toying with them and moving them around, and exploring them and seeing what works and what doesn't work, and kind of taking the world not at face value, but using your imagination to transport yourself. And that gives you clues, I think, to what the benefits are going to be to you. So it's not just that it's a distraction. I think if you went off and played Legends of Zelda, that would be a brilliant distraction, and I think it would also have a lot of great benefits in terms of giving you challenge, stimulation without stress. I think a lot of the stimulation we're getting during this current crisis is also stressful stimulation, whereas play is stimulation without stress. But if you just confine yourself to solitary play, I think you're missing out on one of the really great aspects, which is the opportunity to enter this playful state of mind with other people. And that is not only introduces this other person who is, I think, always going to be a more interesting and unpredictable and creative partner than an algorithm in a computer game, but also strengthens that relationship between you and that other person, and particularly if you are stuck with that other person more or less for the next X number of weeks, we're not sure, then that seems to me to be a useful thing to do. So I'm not advocating for a particular kind of play. I don't think there's a right kind of play and a wrong kind of play. If you've followed anything I've done before, I've been very clear about this. I'm not anti-screens, I'm not anti-video games. I am a very big fan of board games, but you've got to do what's right for you. If what's right for you is running around the garden with a 3-year-old pretending to be a tiger, that is fantastic. My point is only really that play together with the people you're around is really of benefit, really important, I think, in this week, in these coming weeks. So, what am I going to do about it? I'm going to try and do from tomorrow a daily recommendation of something either cheap or free that you can get, download or whatever, and which we really enjoy. I'm not sure we can really go for free all the time, because some of the really good stuff does cost a little bit of money. And I'll try and do that every day during the week, and maybe do a slightly longer one at the weekend, at this kind of time. So if you've got suggestions or things that you think everyone should know about, do comment, or I'm going to post this in various places. That's another thing. And I think it's just to sort of support you in your, whatever it means to come from me, who am I? But, you know, I am a paediatrician, and I am sometimes speak on behalf of various organisations. But in terms of your welfare, I want to keep hammering this home that yes, it's important to have a routine. Yes, it's important to sleep enough, but only slightly less important than that in these times is to have fun. And so you've got to, if you're not, you know, getting through your Greek practice, or you're not kind of, you know, doing all the baking you wanted to do, or if you're not getting everything done you thought you would be able to get done, given that many of us have a little bit more spare time, you need to be kind of not hard on yourself, because this is a very emotionally draining time, and you've got to do things that fill up your battery, not drain it. And I think for me, play fills up my battery, and I think it probably does for most people. So don't make any apology for playing during this time. It's I mean, you know, people talking about sort of mindfulness apps, and that's fine for some people. I personally can't stand it, and you know, mindfulness fills up some people's batteries. Great. Do things that fill up your batteries as well as drain them. That's the key. That is the point, really. I will hopefully help you find some things. I've done a video, actually, it's really, gosh, it's a long time, a couple of weeks ago, maybe, I don't know, 10 days ago. Time has kind of stretched out recently. And that's got some specific recommendations for, you know, games, kind of tabletop games that I think are fun. There's other coming. Every day somebody produces something free or discounted that you can settle down and play. And certainly I'm doing, a lot of fun gaming at the moment. So hope everyone has a good week. Stay safe, stay indoors, wash your hands, do all of the things. The rules are there for a reason, and I absolutely think that they are the right, for what it's worth, again, as a paediatrician and health improvement officer. I do think they're the right rules. So go for it, and hope you have a good time. Please comment below if you want me to cover anything particularly, or if you have a particular recommendation that you want to include in what hopefully will be a daily recommendation video. Okay, I've gone on too long. Bye bye.